The topic today is set bigger goals without overwhelm or burnout. And we're going to talk about voice. Does anybody know what voice is? That acronym, what it stands for in goal setting? All right, well, we're going to go over it. Good. Not good that nobody knows it, but we're going to. And it totally makes sense to me. I think it's going to be good. We're going to look at the next 90 days because I do agree with short-term execution cycles like 12-week year, right? When we break our whole year into 12-week years, so we go 12 weeks hard, 1 week rest, 12 weeks hard, 1 week rest. It just makes sense. I mean, that's how teams do it, right? I mean, nobody just keeps on hitting it as hard as they can. They're getting ready for the game. They play the game, they rest, and then they get ready for the next game or a theater performance or whatever it is. But the first thing is, let's just rip the Band-Aid off of these like goals that overwhelm or burnout. And let's be real. Most people don't fail because they aim too high. They fail because they aim low and they hit it. You're not tired, you're unchallenged. I mean, you ever know think about how energized you get when you really get challenged and you're trying to accomplish a really big goal and you're not burned out, you're probably just bored. So today we're killing that mindset. No more playing small, no more comfort-based goals. We're gonna set a goal today that scares you, that lights you up, that demands that you become something new. And here's the thing. If you're done with comfort and ready to dominate, then just say this out loud. I'm really into affirmations. And I shared this last week with Rory McIlroy, and it says, and they asked him after he won the Masters, well, what are those affirmations that are in your yardage book? And he said, all the corny ones that you've already heard before. I love that answer because it's not reinventing the wheel. This isn't reinventing the wheel, but say this out loud to yourself. Comfort kills. I'm done playing small, right? It's a great book called The Magic of Thinking Big. And in The Magic of Thinking Big, David Schwartz goes over why we don't think big, right? And maybe we'll do a session on that, Heather, one of these times. But it's we don't think big enough. All right. So the first part of this is the myth of balance is a lie. Burnout doesn't come from going big. It comes from doing too little of what sets your soul on fire, right? I mean, Amazon, they're not burned out on growing. Apple isn't burned out on growing and they're a whatever trillion-dollar company, right? So balance is the myth. Rhythm is reality. You got to get into that rhythm because nobody builds greatness in balance. They build it in sprints and recovery. Sprints and recovery. Sprints and recovery. So take Michael Jordan. I love reading about Michael Jordan because in my opinion, he's the greatest of all time, right? Even though I'm a Raiders fan and now this guy owns part of the Raiders, so now I can root for him, is, Tom Brady, who, dashed a lot of dreams of Raiders fans over the years. He had this drive that was different, but Jordan, he has 6 rings. So he didn't rest his way to 6 rings. He wasn't burned out to his way to 6 rings. He rhythmed his way there. All in, all out. Elon Musk didn't invent Tesla between yoga retreats. So it's commitment. It's thinking bigger and better. And you're not burned out. You're just stuck in neutral, pretending that it's noble. Well, I've got this, right? We have these excuses. And it's because in the society, we want to be comfortable. Right? And comfort kills. Comfort is a silent killer of potential. It doesn't scream, it seduces. It's like, I'm comfortable. I just want to be comfortable. I don't want to be wealthy. I don't want to be rich. I just want to be comfortable. And I get that. I mean, that's a need, right? I mean, Heather's getting her PhD in psychology. There's the hierarchy of need. I mean, comfort is one of the more basic things. But when it comes to goals and getting what we want in life, the comfort zone feels safe, but it's like a padded cell for your ambition. Is you can't grow and stay comfortable at the same time. You just can't. It doesn't happen. And every time that you choose comfort, you train your brain to expect average. And so stop negotiating with mediocrity. There's this great line that somebody taught me is, I will do what I need to do when I need to do it. I will do what I need to do when I need to do it, whether I want to do it or not. No debate. And I'm going to give you a perfect timely example of that. Last night I was on the phone. I didn't even realize it was 11:30. Now I'm a 9:30 go to bed type of person, right? Because I'm up at 4:30. So 4:30 came early and I looked at my, I just got this Aura ring and I looked at my sleep score and it was like in the 60s, which is not very good. It had been right around 90, which is optimal. I was like getting enough REM sleep, enough deep sleep, not a lot of interruption. But last night, definitely off. So, but when that alarm went off, I didn't say, you know what? I don't have to work out today. I've been working out every day this week. I didn't say that. I just did what I need to do when I needed to do it. And what happened? Yeah, when I went and just went harder at the gym. And 40 minutes into the gym, I'm like, hey, it's almost over. So it's like, it felt good. Now I can do whatever I want to the rest of the day. I got that done. I did what I needed to do when I needed to do it, whether I wanted to do it or not, no debate. And I feel better because of it. So stop negotiating with mediocrity. Relentless people aren't fearless. They're more loyal to their growth than they are to the comfort. I mean, think about that. More loyal to growth than they are to comfort. All right. The voice method. And then I'm looking at my notes. So I want to see if anybody has said that they have heard of voice. HIIT workouts are the best. I agree, Angela. It's like I was like 40 minutes into this thing and I was like, gosh, it feels like it's been 10 minutes. And I love that. And then I came home and and you know what and you'll like this, Angela, is I was like, I think I need some carbs. Like I just felt like my muscles felt a little flat. And I know that I need carbs when my muscles feel a little flat like that. But my strength was there, everything was good. And I'm like, hey, I got through it with, not as much sleep as I normally would want. Okay, so voice. The voice method isn't a framework, it's a weapon. I mean, I'm just telling you, this is a weapon, this system. And it's kind of like SWAT. Once you see this, you won't unsee it. And there's probably a book out there on this. I just don't know what it is, okay? So we're going to go through this acronym step by step. So V is for vision. I knew you'd get that one. You see the end or be ended. Okay, it's not a wish list, it's a war cry. If this works, will my life be unrecognizable in 5 years, 3 years, 2 years, whatever it is? Your vision should scare your small self and excite your future self. It should, if I say, hey, I want to put on 5 pounds of muscle, my small self, my today self might say, gosh, that's a lot of muscle for a 59-year-old, almost 60-year-old guy. But my future self is like, hey, with peptides and supplements and proper nutrition and quality food, lots of water and all the things that I need and the right sleep, I can do it. How long is it going to take me? Well, hopefully it'll take me less than this year. Okay. So it's like, then I get excited about it because what will I look like with 5 more pounds of muscle? And I was watching something the other day and I've read a lot about the amount of muscle that you have on your body is in direct proportion to how long you're going to live, your mortality. But they said your thigh circumference is a great indicator. I don't know if you've ever heard that, Angela, or not, but like, I believe that. And so like today when I'm doing leg press and I was working on, I can't remember the muscles that are like on the inside of your quad. I was working on those so my feet are together and my right leg was shaking like this because I had a hamstring injury for a couple of weeks. And I'm like, I'm getting stronger. I'm getting stronger. That's just the thing that I said to my head in my head over and over again. Okay, so V's for vision. O is obstacle. Name that beast, man, and train to kill it. Like whatever it is. It's not going to just happen. Like, when people say, well, I'm going to go over, under, blow up the obstacle. Yeah, but you got to learn how to do it. You got to train how to do it. If an obstacle is, I'm a hard gainer, so I can't gain a lot of muscle, or I'm a hard loser because I'm losing fat. Okay, you gotta train it. You gotta learn what works. Is it peptides? Is it, fasted cardio? Is it intermittent fasting? What works for you? So identify the enemy: procrastination, distraction, insecurity, ego, whatever it is. Name that enemy, identify it, write it down, and build a system on how to defeat it. So what you avoid controls you. What you confront, eventually you'll crush it, right? So O is for obstacle. And this is something that Obstacle is the Way is a great book. Is you got to learn to love to overcome those obstacles, because when we overcome obstacles, we're making progress. What's the definition of happiness? Making progress. Okay. I Identity. Burn who you were. Meaning, if I'm somebody that makes 100,000 or 500,000 and I'm on my way to 1 million or 5 million, we got to burn the person that is the 100,000 or the $500,000 person, right? And I know I use money and I know I use fitness a lot, but I'm just trying to just something that everybody deals with. So goals require an identity shift. You can't keep thinking you are something that if you want to be something different or something bigger or something, like you can't think of your checkbook or your bank account or your infinite banking system as X if you want it to be 10X that. What does the version of me who's already done this believe, think, and do daily? Like, what does it look like when I'm doing that? When I'm walking around with abs and I have 6% body fat at 61 years old, what does that look like, right? By the way, there's things that happen when you hit these goals that you never expected. When I started doing infinite banking, started buying businesses, I never expected to own this many businesses. But then what people's reaction to that, I never expected. Getting in shape and trying to build more and more muscle and lose fat and get more flexible and hit a golf ball further and further and further as I get older, I never expected some of the reactions that I see from people. Some of them are trying to bring me down. Hey, you don't even really need to hit driver here. Or why are you swing? This is where 99% of people quit. And I know this sounds funny, but go public. Like telling you people, okay, sorry, can somebody tell me where I fell off? I think I lost the connection, Peter. Okay, before C. Okay, thank you. Okay, let me go back. All right. So before C. So we have V, vision, C, the end or be ended. Obstacle, name the beast, then train to kill it. I love that. D. Burn who you were. That means, it might mean today, but that's not who you are anymore. We're going to be something bigger than this. E, commitment, burn the boats. I know everybody's heard that, but this is where 99% quit. So here's how you don't quit. Go public. I'm telling all of you guys, here's some of my goals. Put on 5 pounds of muscle at 7% body fat or less. Go deep. Go broke if you have to. There's no backup plan, right? There's no plan that says I'm happy at 215 pounds. There's no backup plan for that. That's not a possibility. The enemy of commitment is options. I didn't have any options growing up. Like it was either, there was no safety net. There was no parachute. It's like, you better learn to fly on the way down. So kill your plan B. Hey, if this doesn't work out, this is what I'm going to do. No, you would never go into a marriage like that, right? Or a relationship. Commitment, burn the boats. There are no other people that I'm looking at. This is done. You're my person. We're in, right? I know 50% of marriages end in divorce, but not when there's commitment. Okay. All right. So VOICE grams of protein, right? That's a small, violent win, because when you have that, drink that protein shake for a week straight and tell me you don't feel different. Relentless execution beats perfect strategy. Do not always, don't fall into the trap of getting ready to get ready, right? You want to plant a church, then plant a church, start meeting at your house, start meeting at the high school, start meeting in a vacant field. I don't care, wherever it is. One domino a day, one metric, one sprint, right? I remember this story just because I just said church, is there was a guy came to his pastor and he said, I'm not reading my Bible. And the pastor said, well, why not? Well, I just don't have time, this and this. And the pastor said, could you read just one word a day? Like, could you commit to reading one word a day? So do you think that the person actually read one word a day? No. So they probably started off small. Maybe they read one sentence, one verse, whatever it is. And then pretty soon, after 90 days, he met with his pastor again, and he was reading like his Bible for like 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes a day. I can't remember the number, but it had grown. Because you made that one daily execution. Read one word. Can you do one push-up every day? Can you do one sit-up every day? Discipline is freedom. The more disciplined you are, you can have anything you want. And you stop waiting to feel ready. Just go. right? Just start. Jump in the river. You won't let yourself drown. Okay, so that's voice. That's the platform that we're going to use. Now we're going to talk about 90-day cycle. Okay. Now this is inspired by the 12-week year, but this is my version of the beast mode version. Big vision broken into 90-day wars. One goal, one focus, daily execution. If it's to get healthier, if it's to get leaner, if it's to like change your eating habits, if it's to work out, if it's to run, if it's to make more money, one goal, one focus, daily execution. Then we reset that and we stack on that every 90 days. We review, reload, and redeploy, right? And we just add it. A year is too long. I mean, saying like, and I just said I'm going to gain five pounds of muscle in a year. Okay, so like I'm not perfect, right? That's wrong. I should say I'm going to gain a pound and a half the next 90 days. But a year gives your brain time to lie. We all lie to each other. If you look in the mirror and you say, you know what, I haven't really gained that much weight, or I'm gaining muscle when you're not, do this. And then we talked about this. If there's such things as paper bags anymore, take a paper bag, cut eye holes out of it, put it on your head. So you're not lying to yourself. You can't lie to yourself when you got a paper bag over your head. You see what you see and say, I want this different, right? So a year is too long. It gives your brain time to lie. 90 days is a war. It's a battle, right? You either win or you learn fast. So, you win or you learn, but it happens fast. Hey, in 90 days, that didn't work. I gained 3 pounds. Okay, well, that's not that big a deal. If you say, well, that didn't work. Over the last year, I gained 20 pounds. That's harder. I know you're not supposed to do that, but I do because I want to know. And I don't freak out if I'm 4 pounds heavier because I know it could be water or whatever. Then I weekly review. Relentless correction is, Tony Robbins would say, figure out what you want, take massive action, and change the stuff that doesn't work. It's pretty simple. Simple is not easy. Relentless correction. What's working, what's not working. So, all right, next thing. Why do most people quit right before it gets good? Why? Okay, and this is psychological thing that I can't explain and maybe Heather can. But the pain you feel right before the breakthrough, that's your old self dying. That's the person that you were dying. And did you know the people that quit when they run a marathon, what mile do you think they quit at? This is all, you could chat GPT this, okay? Because I did, just to back it up, because this is something I heard 20 years ago. And chat, I'm just going to call it chat for now. Confirm this. Most people quit on mile 24. Okay, for everybody that doesn't know, a marathon is 26.2 miles. So you're telling me you're 90% there and you quit? Nobody would quit if they understood that they only had 2 more miles to go, would they? But why do they? Because the resistance gets louder before it breaks. Right before it breaks, it gets harder. Joseph Campbell had a thing: the cave you fear to enter holds the treasure you seek. So like you can't be afraid to go into the unknown or the darkness. If you have to just enter the cave. And God doesn't call the qualified, he qualifies the called through fire, right? I mean, thank goodness, because I wouldn't ever do anything. Okay, so if you want a better life, you want something, right? You don't get it by asking, you get it by owning it. Goals that don't stretch you don't serve you. Comfort will kill you. And so here's my final challenge is set a goal that forces you to evolve. Pick the obstacle. Be honest with yourself with the obstacle. Like, what is it? Name the identity, burn the boat, and execute daily like your future depends on it, because it does. One of the things that motivated me, as a lot of you know, I had 5 natural siblings. Some of them I never met. Some of them I met once in my 20s, but like 3 of them have died, right? And they just a couple of years older than me. Now they drank, or not, they smoked, they were overweight, they didn't take care of themselves, right? But that means that there's people that drink and smoke and don't take care of themselves that live to 90. So that means my genes aren't great, probably. Well, that's like, okay, if I want the future that I want, and if I really want 59 to be halfway, Well, then I better take care of myself better than I was. That was my thing. If you want help designing your 90-day domination cycle, then, join our community and let's open up like Heather, maybe we need like a little section for people to share their 90-day commitments. And we don't chase goals, we crush them, and we do it together. Right? You want to share one of your goals? Share your goals on this group. Those are all my notes. So I'm gonna go back to the Zoom meeting and look at this and just go through some of the comments. And I thought that we were like way short on time. I thought that was like 20 minutes, and it's been like 25 minutes if we started at 3 after. But so, execution, like Kyle said, it's that everybody on this call wants to accomplish something in their lives. 90 days, use that voice structure, listen to this again, and just commit to it and do it. Like, let's do it. And I want to hear in 90 days. So what's today? The 12th? Something. Yeah, 12th is July 12th. No, 90 days. So that'd be June, July, August 12th. August 12th. I want somebody to come back when we're on this show or close to that and say, hey, here's something I did over the last 90 days, or share something that you're going to do with the group. I mean, that's cool too. And I was just looking at this. Angela said, hormetic stress is where the growth occurs. Not sure about the circumference. So I don't know either. I just saw that on something. It was like on TV. I don't know what show it was, but I do know that when I see people in my neighborhood, and if you want to know what the future looks like, just come down to Florida and Southwest Florida and look at all these 80-year-olds running around. And there are 80-year-olds that are playing tennis 6 days a week, playing golf 2 or 3 days a week. And there are 60-year-olds that can't walk down the street. And what I see is muscle mass, and I see functional muscle. And I'm all for lifting weights heavy, but you also got to be able to move. And it's one of the reasons that I think I hurt my hamstring is I don't stretch as much as I should. I have somebody stretch me every week, but I need to be doing every day. So that's what I'm doing daily. And I just did like the muscle stimulation thing. I did that for an hour this morning while I was doing my meetings. And that 90-day thing is just something that you can get into. All right. So I'm sorry that I kind of rattled on a little bit longer than normal, but I'm excited to share this voice structure with you. Listen to this again. If you have any questions, send me an email, send me a direct message inside the community. I'm here to help any way that I can. And remember, let's win Monday, because we can't win the week if we don't win Monday. Godspeed. We'll see you next week.